Something that happened very interesting yesterday. We didn't see the white moon come to and fro, but we did see it go into eclipse and bounce out of it, in which you would see this latest mockery here of the bouncing of the moon back and forth. We know it was just a blue intrusion into the shape, and it went reversed, which never happens, and we know that the moon does not do this. So another thing that people in the know are laughing about that nobody else knows about. Interesting. So as we can see here, the 3 crescent suns that comes out of the extrusion of this eclipse represents kingship and blessing of endowed knowledge of kings. When it goes into an eclipse, you will see the 3 tri-suns, and once that happens, what I noticed that when I saw that is that my feet started to burn intensely, way more than normal. It was like the sun was turning up, or the earth was somehow encompassing the same energy as the sun was. When the sun turned up, the earth turned up. Started burning my feet. I want to show you some shit that I saw in this 22-page plate of Splendor Solace. It's like 22 alchemic plates that teaches you the power of the sun and stuff like that. It's in German, so I'm going to translate it eventually, but kind of going to give you an idea of what to expect. And as the people on the outside, they don't know shit. They're just slaves. The kings are on the inside in the know, and they know what to do. So that's pretty much what this plate's saying, other than whatever I translate off of it later, which I'll let you know. And it deals with 7 flasks, and the person is going. He's changing himself from, like, say, a typical nobleman to like a king status. And this will go for queens and kings too as well. So he's putting something in this flask, and this is in German here. I'm assuming that he's got it out in the elements so the sun can charge it. I'm not really sure about that exactly, but let's move on. And then this person goes on to become a knight. And something that I also noticed, that when I stared into the stars after that, the next day I looked up at the sun and I saw diamonds around the sun, which is kind of explaining this one. This dude's got diamonds around his head, sparklies around his head, so he probably stared into it, and now he's been bestowed with this knowledge to become a king, and he's got the mental capacity to take on his duties and roles in this knightship. That's pretty much what I'm seeing here. It's like real obvious. It explains it. Even though all this is in German, which I will translate later, it's really descriptive in its visual aspects. Alright, now this is what I'm explaining here. The duality between the black sun and the light sun. The black sun just sits there. It doesn't move, but the light sun moves, and it's on a path. And check this out. Remember when I said my feet was burning? Check this shit out. Now you tell me what the hell's going on when the queen or the king or whoever, I think this is a female, it's a queen, when she's in her full queenship, she's got burning feet. So obviously these elite and whoever, these chi masters or whoever the fuck they are, have this electrical conduit capability just flowing through them. And this motherfucker's got feet of fire. Check it out. So it kind of correlates to what I was seeing and experiencing just yesterday. And the diamonds and all of that. So I need to go out there and stare into those diamonds around the sun right now, because that's probably something else I need to do. Then it goes on to say, I don't know if that's Rupus Nigra or what, but that's a big ass stump, and they're working into it outside. Maybe it has something to do with slaves. You can see the smile on the sun. It's real faint, but that's kind of like what people see when they look into it. It kind of smiles at you. Ah, look at that. So it's got a crescent underneath it, which means that something's going on with this crescent right here. This crescent sun fragment here is something up with that. So I guess it's underlying, laying the pathway for something to be done. You see the queen down here below, the one that had the, next to the one with the fiery feet. She's proposing something to somebody else. Or maybe she's stepping into her kingship by talking to the king. I don't know. But I'm going to figure this shit out. Amazing. Uh-oh. No, no, no. Hell no. Hell no, I don't want to delete this. Moving on. And then it goes on to show the tree. Look at that. The tree of your fruit of your labors will be rewarded or something like that. Man, this shit's deep. I'm going to have to translate this too. There's no actual script on it, but usually the ones before and after will kind of explain where you're looking at and where you're getting into. Moving on. So, something else to be seen. The sun is here, but something else is next to the sun. Something sparkling next to it, which is also being rayed down on this dude who has now went to the next level. I don't know exactly what that is either. I'm going to translate it. As you can see, it's just beautiful, man. It's a lot of the originals of these original plates are actually crested with gold borders and shit. It's crazy. What is this? Pulling a zombie, a dead person out of the mud into the light? I have no fucking clue, but it looks like somebody who is either not capable of being a full man is now coming into fruition of some kind. The head is clearly full of air because it's a bubble on the head. It's like no brain or something. Interesting. She's got a sparkly on her. So it kind of goes into this whole like diamonds in the sky thing, because I'm seeing that in the clouds now. And I'm going to go look at that shit. So maybe there's some sense of duality that you're aware of after that. It's got an egg in his hand and the flat earth circle what appears to be like a brick around it. A series of bricks. It's weird. And this person took, and this looks like the guy that was walking around earlier who was putting in something in his flask. That looks like the same guy. But anywho, it goes on to show a dismembered body, but the head is golden. What the fuck's that about? So once the head is full of knowledge, it's golden, but the body is useless without the head? Perhaps. Very interesting. Same dude looks like. He's now kind of got people working for him or something. So he's now the king. And he's got a bird on his head. I don't know if that means that he's taking flight. He's going to higher levels of consciousness, perhaps. And then there's these flasks again. These flasks are taking transformations. From what I read about the person who did these alchemic studies, said that he put red stones and black stones together into these flasks. I'm not sure. See, there it is, black and red and white. Black and red mainly, but I'm not sure what the white comes into play. Maybe it somehow turns white. Fuck, I don't fucking know. There it is again, the flask. So it kind of, he puts it in a dark place. That's kind of the whole black sun concept. You put something in a dark place and it comes to fruition. Amazing. So all the people doing that blood over intent might actually be onto something, when, not to say that I don't believe it or do believe it, but I noticed that most of my power I can see obviously comes from the sun. Obviously, I haven't been too sure about the blood magic, but it's probably still more to learn, because clearly these people are putting it in a vase or something and concealing it in a box from light. So that's kind of the whole black sun concept. That's the whole blood over intent, put it away in the darkness kind of situation. And now in the darkness again still, it's transforming within this darkness. It's something special about it. It's turned into something, fruitioning into something more. And now look, in its final stages, it's turned into a peacock, which means that it is blooming and it's turned into something beautiful now. What does that have an effect on the surrounding elements of people, if they have fun or not? Or what is that saying? Peace and blessings from above coming down on this people? Don't know that yet. I'm still going to study. And now the peacock has turned into a queen, as you can see here, inside of the same vase, inside of the enclosed space in the darkness. And you have a king. So, and look what he's standing on, the damn crescent moon. See that shit? You're supposed to see that. You're supposed to stare into the eclipse, obviously, because it gives you something. And what the fuck is this? This is an enigma right here. It shows what appears to be the sun going into perspective out of the horizon's view, because if you went straight into perspective on this flat plane here, this sun would go back up. So you're just beating its path on the dome, which is here, which shows the flat spotlight right in our face, just like the Polaris. It sits right there in front of your face. So this is just perspective. So if you went any further, you would probably be closer to the middle of the dome, if you will, or if you saw this Polaris, you went closer, you'd go out into the seas, and then you would end up at Rupus Nigra, right underneath the Polaris. And that's how the perspective works. Very interesting. It would be nice to find out why the sun is doing this. Is this something I'm supposed to see? Very interesting. And as where it seems like life is fruitful, but something very interesting. This queen here has had like what appears to be 8 children or something, but they're grown looking. They're very mannish. What's that about? Maybe they're smart. Maybe they're smarter than normal kids. Very interesting. And looks like those kids grew up to build a kingdom or something like that. And there's my EIN for my trustee account. Everybody go get an EIN. Take over your trust. Alright. So, as you can see here, the 22 plates are very interesting. Looks like it speaks on prosperity of humankind, human kingdomship, knightship, whatever you want to call it. But as you can see here, it all starts with that. Takes you through the whole process, but it all starts with that knightship, staring into the sun, to get the crescent sun shape, to step into knighthood. So, you know, people need to get acquainted with what they're telling you not to do. You're going to go and spend 40 bucks on some stupid retarded glasses just to make yourself look like an idiot. And you didn't get anything out of it. You spent $40. You know what you can spend $40 on? A full tank of gas, you know? Or a blunt so you can smoke some weed or something. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do shit with those stupid glasses. You didn't get shit out of those damn glasses, man. I hope you fucking feel proud of yourself that you missed out on a fucking badass kingship blessing. Because I just want to not make fun of you, but I just want you to know that next time you get an opportunity, look into it for yourself, man, and stop listening to these bankers and these fucking elite controllers and shit, because their media is not telling you shit but lies. All the truth is all in the books and all in the studies and self-assessments. Stay awake.